And here we go now with Kazna crew on the defense and DiNG on the attack.
Well, this is a correct lineup, as you can see now. There can be no miss here. DiNG last time played with a pretty much identical lineup here, and they all went up. This time they sent Koritz down. That's kind to be expected. Him playing tier 9. But Kazna also just sending a light down, and everyone else is going up. I was wondering why did they even pick the T-54 light, honestly. I mean, constant shooter, but meta kind of already took that tank out. It's not fast enough nor armored enough. A nice alpha by Isne there, 240 is average.
Koritz taking a shot in there from Isne, so the Koritz is just going to come around the bottom here of what's called a small donut by some teams as he tries to get a bit of position. Eurofish knows exactly where he is from the earlier spot from Alien, no, it's Isne, sorry, who's now backing off towards his cap area. Everywhere else going to kind of standard positions. We have Breakneck just taking a shot there. The match here on Cliff generally revolves around the big hill with the lighthouse, and usually whoever controls that controls the map.
At the moment, DiNG does not know what exactly to expect from Kazna. Kazna played literally only one game, and it was a defense a long time ago, but DiNG played much more, so Kazna has some expectations. This is the only map where people can actually say that attack is really high, almost 70%. But DiNG not doing so well so far. They're taking some sporadic damage for no need.
Breakneck taking another hit there as he overextends in the middle and poking his head over. Shockish is actually the first one up on top of the hill. We saw Veko coming up there behind him. Veko's taken a shot and got ammo racked, but he's quickly repaired that. So Veko potentially in a dangerous situation here as he can get, if he doesn't be careful when he comes down, he can get caught in a crossfire.
We see a rotation between Ilian and Isne there. They're gonna press Koritz, so this is gonna really hurt DiNG. But Ilian's getting shots from the middle.
Alien getting himself caught out there in the counter crossfires. Koritz now gets shot at by Isne. Isne looks like to take in the fight between those two. Koritz stuck up on the hill here, but Alien's not able to give any support as Isne actually does take the kill on Koritz, and they have that flank basically secured now.
No, Positive is going for him now, and Mrakar is covering from the distance. So they're just making a crossfire here while Isne is running for his life. Positive can more or less end him up really in one shot.
The match advantage started off initially there with Kazna crew, but after this quick exchange...
let's see the seconds. Will Isne survive? He is spotted.
Can he get round the corner? Isne stops and he takes a parting shot, a cheeky parting shot that damages Positive's tracks there from Isne.
Did he just use repair kit Positive for that?
Quickly used the repair kit. I think he was worried that perhaps another tank was behind him, which was not a good move as we see the fight happening here on the hill. Veko and Shockius exchanging shots. Eurofish trying to get ground against Hunknick and Across Mortorius. Veko takes another shot as he's getting, looks like caught in the back. No, but we have a rotation down the back as well. It's Positive from Arakar coming round on Alien and Isne. This is not going to look good for Alien. He already has a lot of health, and Veko's dropped by Shockish it is as the fight carries on here on the hill. Stefan trying to push round, Eurofish trying to get shots on Motorius as Nexus comes up to support. Positive now kills Alien, there's Hyber dropping Breakneck.
There is a big fight now. There is two snipers that are completely alone by DiNG, Positive and Mrakar on other side, but the hill is at the moment won by Kazna. The real thing is they're approximately same on HP, and everyone is here on the reload. I can't even say that anyone has a big advantage at the moment because they are all split all around the map. I think Isne is actually a joker that Kazna can use to win this game.
Kazna crew sitting king of the hill, but DiNG are looking to reload and get shots across them. So much damage done across DiNG's team though as Maraka just takes a shot in the rear there. Lots of damaged tracks. Hulknick actually has a dead driver, damaged tracks, dead radio man as well. Positive actually has a damaged engine, so that's really going to affect his maneuverability.
Isne, guys, Isne is the only guy who can deal with Shockish without any real punishment. If Kazna manages to do that, they have a real chance to win a game. But if someone from Kazna falls before that, it will be a problem. There you go, Shockish is taking damage from Isne.
Shockish overextending down the bottom of the hill there as he's trying to sneak around and get shots on Nexus. This is really a bad place for Shockish because he's worried about Nexus coming down over the top, but Isne has cross shots on him. It's like Maraka's going to try and move around to deal with Isne, but then he could get potential shots coming in from the top of the hill as well.
Oh, he dropped a tree. They might actually know where he is now.
Maraka's actually shooting, and as soon as he shoots, he's spotted, but he maybe gets two into Hyber. No, he gets the first one, misses the second. Can he go for a third? Nope, he misses a third, and he's wrecked
brilliant.
by Stefan. Good counterplay there. Maraka just holding on for too long there, and Stefan looks like he wants to deal with Shockish. Misses the first shot, goes in to get a second one. Shockish is held up on the tree, trying to go down the hill. Stefan's taking a shot himself for not actually getting the shot in. Now the exchange doesn't look well.
Haiba dropped Halknik on the next side. Shockish is pretty much in stalemate here with Stefan, because Stefan, if he misses the first shot, Shockish can end him. Stefan
wants that kill on Shockish so bad, and he does get it. Stefan had the HP to trade, and looks like they actually exchanged shots. There's now only Positive is left for DiNG, and this looks like it's going to be match 1 to Kazna crew. Haiba just sitting, waiting out here, perhaps going to try and... Positive's going to maybe draw this one out a bit longer so his team can have a bit of time to talk about tactics and actually discuss just what went wrong there.
There is nothing Positive can anything do to win anymore. The Nexus has just too much HP, and everyone else on Kazna is lingering on threads. But they're still alive. That's the point. And this is one of the rare games we've seen on Cliff that actually defense worked.
It's very unusual. Usually the attacking team always wins on Cliff here. It's always an autoloader gunfest, basically. It's like a, let's say it's like a Wild West shootout as everyone's coming in with the revolvers taking shots. Kazna crew in no hurry really to end this themselves because they don't have a lot of HP to be able to do this. Only Nexus can really rush in there and deal with Positive. And Kazna seem to be in no hurry to do this because they are on the defense. They can run the clock out if they want.
Well, let us remind ourselves, the last time they played against Koritz and the team he was leading, Wombats, on offlines, they were up 4-1. 4-1, and they managed to lose it. So yeah, being in no rush against such teams is a good thing, actually. You do not want to overdo it.
A bit of patience. It could go... I think Kazna are worried that they could potentially lose 3 tanks trying to push on them if they do it incorrectly. I'm really surprised why they don't just send Nexus in to fish him out, because Nexus can trade and take hits with him. All Nexus needs to do is land one shot. He's on 458, so a high roll maybe.
Honestly, all Nexus has to do is sit there and wait for him to come. That's exactly what I would do. And if Positive wants to sit behind that rock for the next 3 minutes, I would let him. Have a blast, bro.
They have unusual way to end the match after all the action we just certainly had happening there, but Positive's taking some blind shots. In a moment he's going to be in a reload, but are Kazna counting the shots or not? Do they know that when they can make a move in or not, or are they worried that any pauses between Positive was him doing a reload?
I don't think they have like exactly as good view as we do, so they can't really judge how much he's shooting. So it's gonna be a while. I guess Nexus got bored after all, so he's going for it.
It looks like Nexus is going in. Ant has actually timed it really well to know that Positive is reloading, or he's just getting lucky.
That was counted.
We're giving the benefit of the doubt and say he was counting the shots as Positive realizes he's in a bit of trouble and decides that now's the better time to get away.
He didn't spot Nexus coming, actually.
He hasn't spotted him yet, that's
like
correct.
Nexus, he has no clue where is he, and he doesn't know where is Nexus until now. There we go.
So Nexus has spotted him now. Nexus can basically just rush over and push him down. Positive's going to aim up the hill. Does he actually have the gun elevation to do this?
I don't think so, but Nexus should.
Oh, he gets the shot, and there we go. So, Kazna crew ending Cliff on a positive note. Bam! Was waiting for that one for about 5 minutes to get that in.
Well, finally, great opening from Kazna. It was a tight game, but eventually DiNG just didn't show nothing special, so they could win it. They played really standard, something they've done many times before. Maybe one tank different, and that's about it.
It was a very... I wouldn't say... It wasn't a very organised win, was it? Usually matches on Cliff are quite dominant. Somebody gets the hill, they get the shots down onto the guys below them, and it's quite a strong showing from one team.
We've seen many games on Cliff that were filled with horrible mistakes. So that's why it looked like that, because some guys were failing the boosts, then they were trying to overmatch each other. Some were overcommitting, losing too much HP. Here, what decided this game is they left one guy on the other side. Kazna wrist, set Isne. Isne was not spotted. He knew there is nothing ahead of him, so he managed to flank him, and together with Ilian, he took him out. Ilian was really lucky to survive there, and then in counter-rotation, when the DiNG did a counter-rotation, Kazna just decided, okay, that's it, we either push now or we're dead after.
So, Kazna winning their first match. Let's have a look at the damage done there and see who actually was the hero for Kazna and helped carry. Haiba.
Unusual one. Haiba was doing really badly last several matches, but there you go. Finally a top damage dealer in a game.
So, the damage split almost evenly there at the start, at the top of the table there, with Haiba from Kazna, Shockish from DiNG, Nexus from Kazna, Mertorius from DiNG. But then the next 3 are all Kazna.
We have 5 Kazna guys, of which one of them is actually a light tank. The only guy who got wrecked is Vetso, and he got shot from the back from those two butchers that were rotating.
Vetso got absolutely eliminated, only managing to actually land one of his shots as he got 2 shots off. Maraka, sadly, not doing too great. Positive at the end. 825 damage from 13 shots.
Positive were the guys doing the rotation, so they didn't have what to do.
Yeah. So they were caught out on the far side of the map.
Yeah, they were chasing Isne, who ran away, and Ilian, who's on like 400 HP. That's not much damage to go around, and maybe some random shots before that, and that's about it. Nothing much for them.
Okay, so we have Kazna taking match number 1. They were on the defense. Kazna now going to match number 2 on the attack.
They haven't played it still this season.
Okay, let's have a look at the lineups and see which vehicles are going to be used this time round.
And it's correct one.
That's looking that's looking correct this time round, yes. So Batchats all round.
Well, 49 in attack is always good. That tank, when he smacks one of these, he can easily, if he pens, take like 700-800 damage, which can be a game decider. But it's pretty much mirror, except that TVP on DiNG side that's used for support. DiNG, when they play this kind of thing, they usually send 49 and TVP down on 1-2 line to see someone going and maybe smack him a bit, because TVP has fast enough reload, while the other Batchats spread around the big lighthouse and middle.
Okay, so with Kazna going all the way here for Batchats and DiNG taking Batchats and a TVP, why would the TVP be used over a Batchat in this situation?
As I said, when you go to that 1-2 line, if you want to support it or if you want to do some long distance support, not a front line, TVP is the best because of the burst damage. He shoots 1.5 seconds between 4 shells, 320 average against any kind of these tanks. It's really good, especially when you want to finish them off or to damage them quickly. Also, he has much better reload than Batchat, so it's used for 1-2 line mainly, and for some support.
Okay, let's see if that's how it's going to pan out, or if it's going to go the other way as we go into battle number 2 with DiNG versus Kazna crew. It's 1-0 to Kazna crew. They're now on the attack against DiNG on the defense.
Well, let us see the opening from the DiNG, because that's the only one we can actually judge. Kazna never played on attack on Cliff, as we said, so everything they do, and they're doing the smartest thing, they're going all together. So they're not risking to get shot by the 49 or TVP down. The question is now, how will they try to prevail? Kazna is actually known, they like even to completely rush here. They just go over that 5 line, and if they think the enemy is split enough for their purpose, they will just go. But not this game. Not this game.
Not this game, no. It looks like a small detachment is going towards cover the hill area, and the rest of
And
the
there you go, TVP, you asked why. He's the only one who actually had shells, and he dealt 3 out of 4.
Alien and Yizny getting caught in quite a strong crossfire there. So's Eurofish as well. Kazna really not in the position to be able to take shots back, as all the damage so far is one-sided coming out from DiNG into Kazna. DiNG leading ahead here with a 1000 HP advantage across the team.
It's almost 2000 now. It's not kind of a crossfire, but DiNG has the hold-on positions there, while Kazna took a risk and split here. And honestly, I don't like this opening from Kazna. I think they should have played with more tanks from this side, because now they're open for all kind of rotations from DiNG. And you can see Shokish already took initiative, and he's going in their back. Now this is a kind of a double-edged sword, because if Kazna manages to take the hill, they can wreck Shokish for free. But if DiNG controls the climb enough, so they know that there is no one actually going up, and only Haiba is in position.
Exchange here between Karitsa and Alien, as it looks like Karitsa is going to get... No, actually Karitsa gets taken out by Veko, giving crossfire to his scout. So, first blood actually going to DiNG there. Looked like Kazna crew were just going to sneak the first kill. Shokis catches out Yizny as Haiba takes out Positive as well, as Maraka's running around. Looks like Nexus is going to be the first one to fall, but then Haiba's coming down to help him as well. Can they take out Maraka before he takes out Nexus? Yes, they do.
This is really, really risky play by DiNG, and not coordinated at all. Koritz came on his own, then the random orders came. He's so positive again, like in some previous games, going too far ahead of everyone else, and then Maraka. They didn't even finish off all the Kazna guys that were there, and in one strong push, they could have done it. So Haiba actually survived, and they lost 2 tier 10s.
So Haiba having to rotate now and come around the back as he takes a shot in the rear, trying to make himself safe. Kazna rotating round now to the west-hand side of the map as Veko is pushing up further around, perhaps trying to make a move onto the #1 cap here, or just try and keep himself safe. But no, Alien gets caught out by Breakneck. Great play from Breakneck coming round there.
Dirty TVP, and his burst. Once he starts shooting, you cannot simply run away from it. I was about to say, look, Kazna actually managed to melt away that damage, but then DiNG is striking back. And it's looking good for DiNG at the moment.
Off camera, we just missed Shockish there taking out a tank as well. So Kazna crew not going well at all for them, as DiNG are having a strong comeback here in the second match. A second battle, actually, sorry.
Nothing is over here. Kazna still has good angles, but also Kazna is split apart. And DiNG is the defending team. So they don't really have to commit or do anything. They can just position and wait for Kazna to come to their crossfire.
Each one of the Kazna players now isolated, and DiNG know exactly where they are. I think only, well, Veko just had some shots there into Martorius when he's having to come back down, but they know where Stefan is, they know where Eurofish is. Veko coming down to support his teammates. It's going to be a very strong play from Kazna to be able to get back into this match.
I bet DiNG would really like to have one guy on the other side of the map now so they could deal with Stefan, because one guy from like J5, that corner, he could really hurt him a lot. But it's not meant to be, because Breakneck is monitoring the other side. They cannot afford to lose the middle hill, so everyone is pretty much stuck on their positions and they're just waiting. I would say Shockish is kind of a joker here for DiNG, because he can monitor the lower side, any rotations, and this side below Mary.
Now, an interesting thing to note here is that Hulkneck is sitting furthest back, acting as a sniper for his team, but he has a damaged gun, so his accuracy at long range will be quite interesting. It looks like Kazna crew want to rotate round, either to get, looks like they're going to go for the hill area at C4 and try and get shots across from them, but Breakneck's probably going to proxy spot them.
These are good choices, because they're going to push Breakneck and Hulkneck, because they are the weak link in their defense.
They're actually going for the bush. They're going to sneak up round here. This could work, or it could fail spectacularly. Which one is it going to be? Veko's spotted as soon as he comes over. Stefan, oh, they're trying to get a jump on Hulkneck. Great play from Stefan. Can he get shot off? No. Breakneck comes round, actually gets the cross shots into Veko. Veko's taking a huge amount of damage here, and now Veko and Stefan are being caught in a crossfire. This is not great. They needed to get that kill on Hulkneck and then drop down. Hulkneck is basically acting as a coverage there for Eurofish. He was stopping him from moving.
I would say the only mistake was actually no one covering Breakneck, and he's taking several shots now because he did not expect Fishy on the other side, but Fish is going to get pushed by Shockish, and there is no saving to him.
Eurofish is able to get a kill there, but in turn Shockish gets the kill back on him. Stefan's now rushing out to try and get Hulkneck. Can he get a second shot in? No, he can't. Stefan misses that second shot, and Hulkneck is going to go for a third shot? No.
It would be a really luck shot if he managed to hit it. It's kind of hard RNGs, but Mary has 4 shells here, and every advantage in HP and surprise. I don't think there is saving for Kazna here.
Martorius knowing that he has the HP to trade with Stefan if he wants to. Stefan just pulling back over the hill to try and get help for his teammate as Shockish and Veko exchange shots now. Shockish now coming around behind to get Stefan as Martorius is the one shading on Veko. Martorius was on fire there for a couple of seconds. Stefan and Shockish going for the ram. Plays off to Shockish's advantage as he had the more HP, and now only Veko is left for Kazna crew. This one looks like it's going to DiNG.
This one is more or less in their pocket, and Hulkneck missed!
Missed! Unlucky Hulkneck.
That damage gun kind of worked it. But Hulkneck still has 1 shell, and Shockish and Mary will reload. Vetso would have to outplay his wits to win this one.
Veko stuck between a...
still 1 shell and again
a rock and a hard place, and that damaged gun for Hulkneck. He must be cursing his luck right now, and Veko must be like, that's unbelievable. But Shockish gets the final kill there. And that's 1-1 Kazna crew DiNG on Cliff.
It's still a good deal for them, I would say. Like, it was really close game, and Kazna played well. So there is no sign of those weaknesses we've been talking about. They had every fighting chance even to take it up 2-0, because if we memorize well, Kazna lost last 2 matches because every time on one map they would lose 2-0. It was either Murovanka in one case or Prokhorovka in other. But that's the decider. Every other map was 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, but that is kind of big deal. So Kazna actually had a chance to take it up to 2-0, didn't, but they can be happy about their performance so far.
Okay, and are you expecting this to be a 1-1 trade for the other maps that we have, or are you expecting one team to start to take the lead?
I really cannot judge that. That really is up to the players. For Kazna, it would be best to go that way at the moment because they need points much more than DiNG.
Okay, so let's have a look at where the damage came from in that match as we can bring up the post-battle stats. So Vetso for Kazna crew coming out there on top damage, but then the next 3 players are all DiNG players, Mojo.
Well, DiNG is pretty much overwhelming here, and it's also 4 of them, I would say even, are next. But Vetso finally there at the top together with Haiba. I think team was quite missing that for a long time because those two were underperforming in several matches in a row. And if they settle back where they used to be, this team will function again in the future.
Gisne not having a good game there in the T49. Is that 2 games in a row? He's been kind of...
Gisne was crucial damage dealer in last game, so don't take it away from me.
Okay,
like,
so he was crucial,
spotter
yeah.
and damage dealer. This one, he did it pretty much as much as Koritz, like 20 damage less, but he didn't see where or who.
So a single shot basically from each T49, but they have the damage potential to wreck the Batchats if they can penetrate them.
If it depends. Also, it's how it's positioned, and if you miss and you get caught, it's not like the smallest of the lights in the game. It's quite bulky and big. That's why people use it as a corpse sometimes on Ruinberg as protection.
To hide behind it. Yeah.
So it's the game like that.
So for our next match, we're going to be going to Muravanka.
Yeah, Muravanka is kind of a problem for Kazna now because they've been struggling a bit lately to it. I think last time they lost their 2-0 and it was a problem. Also, we remember that there was in 2 different matches, they got completely annihilated while capping in one match literally on 0 seconds, 0 or 2-3 seconds, and they bounced the guy with Bachat running away. Like, curses, what kind of game is that? Yes, and then in the last game even, after like managing to do something against Utopia, they still got wrecked on that cap. So, tough map, but a lot of time to learn.
Well, it'll be interesting to see which vehicles are going to be used this time as we can bring them up on screen. And, well, not quite what we saw last time round because Kazna crew are on the attack this time.
Well, Kazna pretty much changed only one thing here. They took 1390 instead of Bachat's APs. They used like 2 tier 9 Bachats. So they took 1390 for spotting. I guess they needed more expendable spotter. Also, this is back to the roots for them because sometimes they used to test last game, like they took one T57 and so on. On other hand, DiNG plays identical here. They didn't change a thing since the last time they played Muravanka. And Muravanka is decent map for them even, I would say.
Usually when I see teams playing Muravanka
at least on
defense or even on attack, this E5 usually ends up a lot of time. I mean, it was one of the games that was actually the saving grace, but sometimes it just gets thrown out to the wolves and used as bait. Do you think that's going to happen this time, or is it going to be a key tank?
We will see this game. Like, it's all about how will teams plays those tanks.
Okay then, so we are ready to go into battle number 2 between Kazna crew and DiNG on Muravanka.
Muravanka, a map with a great number of buildings, bushes and trees, amongst which teams hide for most of the battle. The attacking team begins the battle from the top of the village, and the defenders start from the bottom of the map. Both bases are better controlled from the hill near the first base, and from the green in the lower left corner of the map. There are many attack directions. The attacking team often attempts to gain the attention of defenders by putting pressure on the first base, whilst manoeuvring several tanks behind the second base to deliver fire into the defending's flank. Team setups are very diverse, but the players often choose the fastest tanks, even for heavy setups. They could even bring SPGs.
So here we go with Kazna crew on the attack and DiNG on the defense. How do you see this one going, Mojo?
Well, Kazna with this lineup usually went for the forest side. They were clearing the cap and then playing on, but honestly they can do whatever. They can just press in. DiNG really standard setup there with E5, and that's kind of an anchor tank you can put, and then you just surround it with mediums for rotations. So Koritz in standard bush. I think this is identical what they played even last time. I think Koritz is even in the same bush.
It's going for a rush. Kazna crew are going to try and do the rush with the 3 Batchats, but already DiNG were ready to counter it.
Breakneck.
Breakneck was ready. He was in position, able to spot it out, and they're going to quickly focus on Breakneck, but all the guns of DiNG are there over to give overlap as well. Shots are coming in fast and furious as Breakneck looks to be taking a massive amount of damage. He's only in 270 health left, but the counterfire's coming back, and Eurofish is taking a massive amount of hits as well. Now he's got a dead driver. One absolutely chaotic start to this match.
Kazna started to do something like Oops did to them. So they lost a guy there, if I remember correct, Ilian, but Breakneck was a bit more careful and he had really a lot of luck to survive there. And Kazna just was too greedy. After that initial salvo, which was for free, they should have just ran away. This is a good comeback for them because Kurit's dying is a huge asset. Now they can rotate other side of the map.
So Veko and Hyba are looking to get some shots into Positive, but the danger is they've only got 3 shots between them, and Positive's going to come off in a reload. 3 shots is not going to be enough to kill a Batchat, but
Nexus
Yizne's
is
giving
coming
crossfire, and there's Nexus coming in as well. It's Positive, actually, who drops there to Nexus. Hulknick looking for shots here. Kazna crew in the open here, but a lot of this, they still have all their guns available to shoot on DiNG. It's just a matter of who's on reload, who's not on reload now.
Kazna is really using all advantages they have in these fast tanks. Like they're pressuring DiNG like wasps from all the sides, and DiNG cannot turn around anywhere specifically. Now they have a big problem. The rotation tanks they have, Mary and Breakneck, are really almost dead. Mrakar is a big fat tank and he will get shot from afar wherever he goes. And Hulknick, that tank was never meant for rotations. He's just a port tank. He's just chunky medium that's easily penetrated and spotted.
So very sneaky move here from Yizne. He's going into cap number 2 to try and force a move from DiNG to deal with him. Breakneck's having to rotate around the bottom to deal with him, but Breakneck does not have the HP to do that. He's only in 270 health. On Kazna crew, however, we have Alien on 64 health. He's somehow hanging in there by the skin of his teeth. Eurofish on 287. Veko on 358 health. Kazna crew have 3 tanks that can be one-shotted. Yizne's sitting in this bush. Nobody can spot him right now. At some point, someone's going to have to go forward and spot him, and that's going to expose him to the guns of Kazna crew.
This is the value of light tanks now. Look at this. Yizne is capping. He's a light tank, so it's practically impossible to spot him. And he has so much experience, HP compared to other guys now, that they really have to commit to find him.
So Maraka just trying to poke over here to see where Kazna crew are, but the minute Kazna crew want to peel back and rotate or something like that, they're going to lose sight of them. It looks like Mertorius is going to be the one to try and spot out Yizne. Do Kazna have the guns available to shoot him right now? Mertorius is on 643 health, so he can be 2-shotted. He'll get shots into Yizne, but even just one shot from Yizne back onto him is going to give him a lot of information. And he's spotted by Yizne as well. He still hasn't spotted Yizne, so Kazna knows exactly where he is. Veko waiting there to give Yizne covering fire.
It looks like DiNG is actually ready to sacrifice Mrakar in E5 because counterattack from Kazna is expected when this happens, but they need to deal with this cap.
Oh, Maraka sticks his head up there too high and gets wiped out there by the Grill 15 from Stefan. Now we see Mertorius dropping. Veko did exactly what was needed and covered his teammate. Kazna still have all their tanks available here as they're now going to squeeze out Hulknick and Breakneck, and it looks like battle number 1 here is going to be going to Kazna.
This is a really strong start. I would say even with those mistakes in the start when they were over greedy trying to kill Break, that was kind of overcommitting because after that first salvo they should have just left. Immediately, that was huge advantage already. They didn't have to take all the damage. But it ended up well because DiNG actually overcommitted. Kuritz abandoned his bush for some reason, known to him, because they already ran away. And Positive got stuck behind that building. Everyone was in reload. Kazna actually made a good call there. That they're in reload, so they're not in position to help him, and pushed with everything they had. You saw, one guy had 1 shell, other guys had 2 shells, and Nexus was coming from another map to finish him off.
Yeah, like when they started to move in, it's like they're going to get him, and then you can see the reload.
You're dead, bro.
I was like, you've got 3 shots between you. You know you can't take out a tank. Like, it's good you're going to get the 3 shots, but he's going to turn around and just shoot one of you. Let's have a look and actually see where the damage came from in that team, because that was some nice play there from Kazna. Hyba coming out there on top damage dealer in the back chat.
Well, we found what's the secret for Kazna now to win every match.
Put Hyba in the back
And
chat.
it is game.
So top 2 tanks coming out from Kazna, then the next 2 coming out from DiNG with Hulknick and Breakneck. Veko coming in there on 5th with the bat chat. Mertorius again with the bat chat, then Nexus again with the bat chat.
Quite unusual, but the guys that were struggling most for Kazna in last matches, now they're in leading positions. Hyba and Vets all over the place.
So that's actually how Kazna can do better. They just, you and Daki discussed the Trident earlier on, the kind of holy trinity, if you like, and now it's just, don't rely on those guys for the damage, get other guys to do the damage.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them now, and we see Positive here. He is supposed to do the damage for DiNG, but he is nowhere to be found on this.
Not happy about that, with Positive being in my fantasy team. I seem to have picked a terrible fantasy team this season. It's not going well.
For my fantasy teams, its main problem, half of them are usually not playing.
Mojo's picked a team. If you pick a team of everyone who's on the bench, that's what Mojo's done.
I change them every week and someone gets benched or something goes on vacation and they're like, what?
Think for your if you had you in the North American League, you would probably have about 50% of high voltage development.
Oh,
okay. So we're going to be going into round 2. Kazna crew this time on the defense with DiNG on the attack.
Well, Muro is still one of the most defensive maps in the league, so that kind of gives advantage to Kazna, but as we've seen, there is always chance to put some team in offset, no matter how good they are.
And do you think after this, that means so far it's gone first match to Kazna, second match to DiNG. Do you think this one's going to be first match Kazna, second match DiNG, or do you think Kazna are able to steal this one
Honestly, I think Kazna now has an advantage because Cliff is Cliff and Murovanka is defensive map, and losing defense here is a big deal.
Okay, interesting. So, the tank lineups, what do you see going to be used this time, Mojo?
Well, I'm scared to even say, but I think we've already seen that. But never mind that. Kazna has been known to experiment here a lot and look for their ways. So, per lineups, which we're going to see very shortly, we can see this RT they've used before. Oh, what a surprise. Never mind.
That looks like the same lineup they had on the cliff in the first one.
Butchers mainly used for rotation. Ice 4 is usually pushed forward a bit, so if enemy team has RT, he has low silhouette, so he can deal with it. Also, he can bounce those tanks when they pick around the corner, like those Butchers did to shoot Breakneck. STB is usually in a corner covering him, and TVP somewhere behind. But DiNG, 357s here.
Okay, now question for you. Kazna crew on the defense, Kazna crew and attack earlier on were all Batchats. Now DiNG this time have 3 T57 heavies. What's the difference in their tactics that we're going to be seeing here?
Well, last time we've seen DiNG play something like this. This is even harder setup. They had 2 57s, but they had 1390. So this kind of setup is more pro fighting. So they will look for a fight. Last time they were just setting up crossfires and playing the lower field. I think with this lineup they might actually go to cap 1.
Okay, so let's jump straight into action. As we can see here with Kazna crew on the defense and DiNG on the attack. I'm interested to see how these T57 heavies will do, because it's a very, well, heavy lineup compared to what Kazna crew just had, which was quite a flexible lineup. So Kazna crew have to be careful when they're trading with these tanks, because obviously the T57s per shot do more damage than the Batchats.
Well, they're going again for the lower part of the woods. And they're just leaving some Batchats here on the upper part, so they spot the rotation, and there is 2 of them. Because it's known fact that if you leave only one, there is a high chance he will miss something and he can get caught by 2 or 3 guys rotating there to check out is there anything going on that part of the field. Kazna has that annoying Crusader. I think this is the reason why DiNG actually gave up on a push on 1 cap, because he shoots every few seconds. He has a mortar kind of gun. Mortar means he shoots up to the sky and then the shell falls down. So that's kind of annoying. It does practically no damage, but it resets, and the cap is there, the biggest tool on 1 cap.
So with the lineup from DiNG, it's not really a lineup that's going to focus on a cap rush, is it? With the T57 heavies there.
Well, not against this kind of lineup that Kazna has. But now we have another problem. Kazna already played this, and they really kept the lower field and lower cap unspotted like now, and they lost that game because of that by far, and they're doing it again. I really don't understand that, because their rotations are already off and late. I mean, you cannot really blindly go and push anywhere, but honestly, they could have risked a bit and played more defensive on 1 cap and maybe made a trap on 2 cap. That would be a good tactic.
So with Kazna having the Crusader, they're not likely to then take a scout, are they? Because that's effectively taking two potential damage sources out of the team.
But still, you need to put at least 1 Batchat somewhere to see that cap. Or, as I said, they could have just left Iris 4 somewhere back here as kind of anchor.
Yeah.
And everyone else could have made a trap down and just shot the 57s while they're approaching. If they're going down, if they're not, they can just rotate back, because they have that little nasty RT Crusader who can decap without even seeing the tanks, because his reload allows him that. He shoots every 6-7 seconds.
So Karitz just pokes his head into the cap circle there as Shockish looks to have taken, or Ealing looks to have taken a hit from Shockish, who's now on a reload. Kazna crew, they're on the defensive, which means they're going to wait for DiNG to come towards them, but right now you get the feeling that Kazna's perhaps just given up a bit too much map coverage and vision.
No, this is too passive. I don't like it, and they cannot actually wait for DiNG to do anything. Cap pressure is already on, and Kazna's rotation is late for like 20 seconds already. They're trying to do some blind shooting with Alien and maybe connect the tank that is capping. We've seen it yesterday happen on steps by Rusty Roster, no less. They were giving the lessons in that, but this is not happening now.
You can see the shots there coming in from everywhere. Breakneck takes a shot back in counter, and he actually has a dead driver, so he's not running with a medipack there, so he can't heal his driver.
But Breakneck is on another part of the map, and Kazna knows that, and the guys that are pressuring the cap are below, and they're pretty much safe on full HP. And here is the preparation for Kazna rotation, Nexus and Fishy on K-line.
At some point, someone's going to have to rush out
It's
to
going to be
spot
a big
Karitz,
fight now.
and they're going to get wrecked as Alien continues to take shots right now. Veko taking one again. Alien takes another one. He's had to quickly heal his gunner who died there as well. Not looking good for Alien. He's meant to be effectively the team sniper, and he's now on a one-shot. Now, this is kind of going back to what Kevin was saying in an interview earlier on, Mojo, that Kazna sometimes are just playing a bit too passively. They're playing a bit too scared of their opponents, aren't they?
DiNG is already doing all preparations to stop Kazna, and Kazna doesn't even guess the angle where Kurit is correct. This is the biggest problem. Look at this, Alien just fell for free.
As we were just saying there, Alien overextending, getting himself shot there by Breakneck. Eurofish runs out to spot Karitz, but he's probably going to get himself killed for this quick spot, and it's not looking good at all for Kazna. They really have given up so much vision on the map. Eurofish looks like he might get away here. Some of the shots coming in from DiNG, and no, Positive finishes him off, and that's 2 now down Kazna crew. 3 now down on Kazna crew as Hulknick is able to get the drop on Stefan. This is an absolute arguably implosion, Mojo, from what just happened in the previous round.
Now, honestly, when you play with that little arty, you cannot commit all the forces on that top cap. You really need to... The utmost danger, the same way they lost previous time they played with that arty, they lost again, just to different lineup and different team.
So in answer for losing 3 of their teammates, Kazna crew are able to drop Hulknick, but right now this is a bit too little too late as DiNG still have 6 guns on the battlefield and they are all autoloaders.
Yes, and they're just using Koritz on cap to farm those cap points. Everyone else will just press Kazna here in close combat, so Kazna cannot really do any rotations. And there you go, those 57s are coming in. And how can you deal with them with STB or ICE-4 as single shooters? Like, there's gonna be a world of pain now coming in.
And this looks like the beginning of the end for Kazna crew as Notorious and Positive take out Veko here. The next one to fall is going to be Haiba as they turn their guns onto him. Positive still with 3 shells in the magazine. Shockist empties out his 2. There drops Haiba. All we have left is Nexus to run away and think to himself, guys, what just happened there? This was not an expected showing from Kazna crew. The team lineups, we'd already saw a glance of them in the first map on Cliff, but that didn't make any difference to the teams here. The teams came in here with their own plans, and the match ends there on a positive note for DiNG as Positive takes out the last remaining player from Kazna, and we have it 2-2. Mojo, I think this one's going to go all the way potentially.
Well, so far so good for Kazna. It's 2-2, but this was a throw for them again. Actually, not. I can't even say again because last game was when it was on Cliff, it was a fighting chance, but this was just a throw because it was a bad tactic from the start, and they played inferior from the start. So it was just a matter of time how will DiNG take them out. DiNG just took all the free gifts Kazna gave. Like they gave entire free field down, nothing able to spot. They had to suicide Fish to try to spot it, to suicide a tier 10 for that. Why didn't they just leave him in a bush then in the first place?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at least it would take some time to DiNG to try to dig him out from the bushes with those 57s, and they don't have unlimited shells.
It's interesting to see when someone takes that Crusader, you know what their tactics are going to be. You know that he's going to try for the cap reset on 1. So how do you counter that? You just don't go to the 1 base. You can see here the top 3 players for damage in that battle was Shockish, Breakneck, Positive. All 3 of them DiNG players. Then we have Haiba Nexus. And the IS-4 for Kazna was the top damage dealer. None of their batchats were able to get on, well, there's Nexus there, but none of the other batchats were able to get there on the top page. So the damage, the vision just wasn't there for Kazna.
Well, Ilian really tried to do some damage there, but at the end of the line, look at this. Blind shooting, 13 shots, 0 connections, died first. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to play it.
And you're saying as
Fishy
well...
also, look at this. He was trying to spot that, 0 damage. Isne managed to do 34 damage out of 22 shots with that little arty. Like that says it all. There is nothing more to see here.
Yes, a very unfortunate match for Kazna. Hopefully they can do something on the next match, which we're going to have, or the next map, sorry, which is going to be Ghost Town.
Wow.
Is this another good map, or is that a bad map for Kazna, Mojo?
Well, overall, DiNG has 83% win rate on Ghost Town. Kazna has like 57. So if you watch like that, no. Kazna's been prone to some suicide attacks in attack here. So I guess they will not do that anymore. Like even a Wild Bunch crossfired them and annihilated them in that moment. And they even played with Arty. So what we're gonna see here from Kazna, I expect is a bit more tactical game, or at least if they press, it's not just gonna be that kind of YOLO.
The danger as well is that we've talked about it in the past, and it's always, I never like bringing it up, but it's always a thing that you have is the Kazna tilt, and right now they're happy, sad, happy, sad. You know, they're winning a game, they're losing a game. Is
Well,
that going to affect the players
honestly,
mentally?
about this last game, they can only be said about their tactic, not about performance. There was nothing to perform. Tactic was flawed from the start. It's kind of easier that way because you know you didn't just flip your tank, you know, like this and end up on your roof. So you can, hey, sorry guys, we're gonna lose the match because of me. So that didn't happen. This is just that kind of game. They were just helpless because of initial tactic.
Okay, so what kind of, actually I was just going to say what kind of tanks do we expect to see, but we can actually look at the tanks and see exactly what we're going to get, Mojo.
We were doing some interesting survey lately, and we noticed that Bachat is picked on 35% of all the tanks in complete league on any map altogether. So yeah, when you say Bachat, you're gonna do 100% of every map.
Like, which tank do we expect? Bachat, maybe? So both teams taking E1s, so that's kind of interesting, I would say.
Yeah, Ghost Town is one of the maps where people are playing harder setups now, more and more giving up on light tanks that they used in before, and we see more and more of these T-54 E1s, American mediums, because of that burst damage. Now, DiNG really played with more clippers in defense, but now they took all single shooter lineup with those FE heavies and 113. So that's kind of different because they use 7 clippers. Kazna, on the other hand, changed also a bit here.
Okay, so we're ready to jump into action now on Ghost Town, where we'll have Kazna crew on the attack, DiNG defending at 2-2. Let's have a look and see how this battle goes.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Okay, so here we go, Mojo. Are we likely to see fairly standard tactics, or do you think anyone's going to try and do something different?
Well, Kazna used like 2 VZs, single shooters, previously, and more slower lineup like I7 and FV. That didn't work out that well for them, honestly. And I think this setup is much more mobile and much more meta than the old one they used. So far, they're not trying to do any kind of cap pressure on one cap because this lineup even says we want to fight. And they're really hardcore spotting the lower side and pressing that E line. They really like it for some reason. Even in last match when they won this side, this is how they did it. They pressed it from this side, where the 3 tanks are, exactly there, Vetso, Fishy and Haiba. And other guys were doing a crossfire because Utopia, when they played against them, Ghost Town kind of went really aggressive and suicided a bit some tanks. A slight hiccup there from Utopia happened, and Kazna took that game. But so Kazna saw nothing, and there is rotation.
Alien getting some quick spots out for his team. Kazna initially headed down south of the map, and now they're going to rotate to the north of the map around the number 1 base. Usually teams fight over number 1 base, and 2 teams don't cap on 2, do they? It always ends up a gunfight if they go in for 2.
Yeah, 2 is really almost impossible to defend, and it always ends up in a big brawl because once you are pressed on a cap, you need to do a counter push. And then if you do a correct choice where to do it, you win a game. If you run in a crossfire, well, you can guess.
And here we have Eurofish in the 113 setting off the base cap. A very common place for low tanks with nice curved sloped bouncy turrets to start the cap. He knows roughly where the shots are going to come in from DiNG. There's a couple of roads and corners people can poke around. But it looks like DiNG are actually rotating south as well.
They have no means to actually decap him because they don't use that light on high position. They would be able to shoot him if he's doing some dirty capping behind the buildings, but there in that defilade, they would do a lot of damage. So here comes. DiNG is really already rotating and preparing for a fight.
DiNG coming in round the back as there's like Positive, Hulknick and Shockish are going to rush in here and try and get some shots. Can he focus a single tank down? Looks like Haiba's going to be the one that they go and try and eliminate, and he's dropped first. Great shooting there from DiNG. Positive fire, great aimed tanks that are getting all the shots into one player. Shockish is going to go next down for DiNG, but he looks like he might hang on, as will Hulknick on 98 there. Kazna's shot discipline's not coming out as we've lost another player as well. Vizny dropping. DiNG making their shots count right now.
This is a really huge pressure for DiNG. They chose to go with all 7 on practically one line and just destroy the inferior number of Kazna tanks there. Now we've seen this kind of play that Kazna did work, but the teams that were doing it, like Nekkebrud, they had 4 57s there. They were clipping out in seconds there.
DiNG still have all their tanks right now after this exchange. Matoris is going to get shots into Eurofish. He can only get a shot back as Matoris is going to get off. He's probably his entire clip here into Eurofish. Eurofish is dropped. All we have left is Alien. DiNG not losing a single tank in this exchange, although Hulkneck has only got 98 health left. Breakneck has got 200. Alien is caught out there between Positive and Breakneck. That is a clean sweep for DiNG on Ghost Town. Mojo, what happened to Kazna there?
I hope we will not see another 2-0, because this could be decider map for DiNG at this moment. What happened there is they just got outmatched. In the last game they played here, they managed to win, and they saw some people get suicide when they're going that street, so they get blown up and so on. But you need certain amount of tanks to do it. Kazna shot everything they had, and it didn't even scratch DiNG enough. We saw Hulknik was maybe on one shot, but everyone else was still there and pressing. And you saw DiNG, they had actually a lot of single shooter tanks. So when all the clippers went reload.
The focus fire came in from DiNG. They eliminated, I think it was Haiba was the first one they went for, and then he turned and focused on Yuzne. Now to counter, to Kazna's credit, they tried to focus on someone as well, but he was left on just that 98 health, like you said. They didn't just quite get off the last shot, and then by that time Kazna pulled away.
The problem with those clippers is they are kind of bouncy, but when you shoot gold shells, especially from higher altitude, you are always in huge advantage and they cannot really bounce then. So Kazna was in inferior position there, and they just didn't have enough guns to stop this kind of push.
So let's have a look at who actually did all the damage there for DiNG, as that exchange from Kazna was quite quick. Positive there, and 113 coming out on top of his autoloaders.
Yeah, it's pretty normal when in a push like this, since when all the reloaders go, he's still there pumping the damage and pushing. And that's why it was very important for DiNG to have a guy like Hulknik still alive, even though he was on crutches there.
Yep, Alien and Stefan doing what they can in the back chat and AMX 50B, but it's not going their way, as the first page is dominated by DiNG players, with only 2 of them featuring on the next page. So 5 players out of 7 coming top damage there for DiNG. And
Kazna and Haiba and Izne pretty much didn't do enough damage there, and they got blown up really easy, because with those tanks you actually need to do at least a second clip to make them pay off.
Yeah, they need to.
Between themselves they did about the damage that one guy would do.
It's unfortunate from Kazna. Now the thing is can Kazna take a deep breath, say, okay guys, let's calm it down, let's just, let's not get too emotional about it right now. There's still matches and points to be won here. Or right now are Kazna just going at each other?
Well, this is a second loss in a row now at the moment, and kind of Muravanka game, the defense was the sad one. So I'm really hoping they're not tilting, because this game will probably break the match, the next one. If Kazna wins it, they're still in. They lose it, it's going to be match point for DiNG. There will be 3 games in a row and loss. Not good.
On this one now we have Kazna on the defense with DiNG on the attack. Do you think DiNG are going to look for a cap, or do you think DiNG, on the back of 2 wins, are just going to go out there looking for a fight?
DiNG usually goes for a fight on this map, but and also this map is not very known for defensive properties. It's actually pro for attackers. Usually attackers win more. So Kazna just lost an attack here, so for them it's not perfect, but they need to try to do better. For them it's critical not to get capped, one,
okay,
and not to get caught in some rotation trying to decap if they're pressured. So let's see what they choose to do. There is various different tactics they can use.
Okay, I mean, I would like to think that Kazna can come back from this. I'd like to think Kazna can.
It will be fun for us,
can
definitely, because then that's a really big match.
That's
a matchup we need.
They'll take it to 3-3, and then we'll be going into the next match, which is going to be Prokhorovka. Kazna, not a great record on Prokhorovka, certainly when they're playing Gohard recently. Gohard completely outplayed them on Prokhorovka. DiNG, I'm not so sure about how DiNG are doing in Prokhorovka, but here's the thing.
Doing quite well there.
We can go to lineups, and there's something I want to ask you about the lineups that I noticed here. So, on DiNG's side, why 2 T57 heavies and an AMX 50B? Why not 3 AMXs, or why not 3 T57s?
Well, EMXs are kind of given up in the last moments because 57s have a better reload and they bounced more with that HD model. So in that perspective, they are better. But some players don't like it, so there might be a personal choice of a player. Okay, I really like 50B more, or it can be just rotation-wise because 50B is just faster tank and it gets from A to B faster. So if you want to keep him somewhere offhand to cover you, it's better to have him than 57. 57 is meant for a front line.
Okay, and on Kazna's lineup, they're bringing a T57 heavy as well, so almost like they'd kind of had a rough idea of which other would be doing.
Kazna has kind of a slower setup here. It's mainly meant to defend the middle against the push when you have tanks like this.
Okay then, let's see what Kazna's tactics are going to be on defense, and let's see if DiNG can squeeze this one out as they're on the attack here on Ghost Town. Can DiNG make it 4-2, or can Kazna bring it back to 3-3? Mojo, talk us through the start of this match.
Just gonna say, DiNG has again identical lineup like they used in the last match, so they're using their standards. They're just shifting tank positions maybe, but not the tanks themselves. So, by the play they're using now, we see they're pressuring the lower side. That usually means we are looking for a fight. And those 57s should linger around the 2 cap because that's where they get best angles to shoot someone while they're crossing from left to right. We saw TWB tanks yesterday in a match get annihilated because they were just trying to cross from one line to another, and 57s were just clipping them for free all over again. I hope Kazna will not do something reckless like that, but this is big push.
So Alien's managed to get himself up to the normal spot where you would see light tanks going. That's just to give him coverage onto base one if anything happens there. But once the fight starts, once they have a rough idea of where DiNG is, Alien might have to come swooping out of that area, because that's just to cover the 113 or the IS-4 commands. Eurofish is the first one to be shot from positive and gets a counter shot back, but he takes another one in return. So
it's not good because he doesn't realize how many tanks is coming there, and he has nowhere to go even now.
He's got his back exposed to him as well, which is the weakest armor. He gets a shot back into positive, but positive gets one, and Eurofish is deleted. He was caught out on his own with no support really from his team. Not a great start from Kazna.
Fishy there went down for free completely. And this is really a horrible start for them. They are already almost 2000 HP down. DiNG can afford any kind of thing now. They can just pull back, reload, and go other cap if they wish. They're not bound to play here.
This is a very unfortunate situation for Kazna, as that was Eurofish in one of the auto-loaders. So I was actually saying earlier on that, oh, never mind, I was getting mixed up there with tanks. So Nexus getting caught out here by Breakneck as Breakneck gets shots into Nexus. Oh, that's a huge amount of damage coming. Great play from Breakneck.
Nexus was the guy covering Fishy from the flank, but he pulled back. There was, I guess, miscommunication between them because Fishy was supposed to pull back together also in that moment. I don't know why he stayed there. Was he already stuck and spotted? But now, from looking bad to looking horrible.
Now DiNG just pushing into middle here to basically say to Kazna, hey, we're right here, we're in base 2, what are you going to do? You're going to come in and get it.
Look at this, is interesting. Look at Koritsky. He is actually in a corner, so he has adding up more meters to his proxy range of a tank. This is how the game works. Although there is a wall between them, there is still that proxy range, and whenever any tank enters that imaginary circle around him, he will get spotted. That's why he's not in a cap, but he's doing that. As you see how he spotted Vetso.
Spotted Vetso, Vetso spots him in return. Now Kazna are going to have to come in and rush the cap here to reset it, which is going to be very close. Someone's going to die as soon as they do it. Vetso is going to be the one to do it. Hyber's going to go around the other side. They might leave this too late. Kazna need to hurry up and get the shots in. They get one there into Hulkneck as Maraka turns around and shoots Vetso. Hyber's getting shots into the Shockish now as the shots coming in. Nexus is now dropped by Positive. Veko's now dropped by Maraka. Kazna don't have the guns left to be able to exchange in this fight.
Kazna actually looked decent here, but it will not help them at the end of the day. Ilian managed to take out Positive, and there are other guys like Mrakar falling in a cap, but HP advantage is so humongous.
Breakneck getting another shot and then getting another kill for his team as Haibaz poking around the corner and overextending a bit. Shockus is just about to come off reload. He's going to finish him. All we have left is Elin and Stefan left for their team on Kazna. Stefan's now getting caught out in the open from DiNG. Stefan, good night, mate. That's not going to go your way. And Alien is dropped right after it. 4-2 DiNG. Kazna crew. Come on, Kazna. We wanted a bit more of this. We wanted a good exchange between the two of them, but
it was really just mistakes. Again, mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. A little ones they seem in a start, but after that they are just like a snowball. You go put it down the hill and it just grows and grows. Fishy being late to pull back together with Nexus Nexus going away 100%, and Fishy staying there to trade shots with
Yeah.
positive, and just getting caught by entire team, annihilated. Tank minus immediately. Kazna already Clipper down, and they have a lot of single shooters. When that cap is pressured, it's really a problem. You saw that exchange was not good for them, because while they fire one shot, those Clippers do 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was. He got caught and he had his back to him as well. It's like, oh, there's an enemy tank there. It's like, dude, move! Like, don't stay there. But let's have a look at the damage and see actually who got all the shots there and kills for the team. Shockish and Meritorious there having great performances on the autoloaders, with Breakneck coming in third there. Only one Kazna player on page 1 tells its own story, doesn't it?
And it was a T57 player, 8 shots. I believe he penned all 8 to do that kind of damage.
So, great play from Shockish and Meritorious there, and carrying their team on the T57 and the AMX-30. Vetso...
Blown up when he went around to try to decap. They focused him first.
Eurofish was able to get his 2 shots off and land the 2 shots, but he got caught completely in open at the start. That really... And this is
Nexus was also after that caught by Breakneck,
Yep.
and he was on low HP and shot off easy when the fight started. So they were practically minus 2 tanks when the fight started. They were 5-on-7.
And this is what I was going to say with Kazna. When this thing happens with Kazna and they start to play scrappy, what happens is usually you get one player who's just like, pfft, and gets himself completely caught out in the next match. So things go okay, Kazna start to get a bit rocky, then 1 or 2 players just get caught in a completely bad situation. And to me that's like there's arguments going on. Like, people are like, sod you guys, I'll do my own thing. And they're not doing the whole, like, guys, come on, let's get this back together, focus. It goes back to a team of individuals rather than a team of players.
I cannot judge about that. I didn't play with them in a long time, but I think they're too good friends to just argue like that. Also, mistakes are made, and it's usually to lack of training more than to something like just going out of your wits on TeamSpeak.
Okay, so let's have a look at the lineups for what's going to be the 4th match between these two teams. We're on Prokhorovka with DiNG on the attack, Kazna on the defense.
Well, DiNG is advantage any way you look at it, not by lineup, but their Prokhorovka for them is like 67% win. Kazna's not so much, like barely 45. Also, Kazna 3 games in a row lost now, not even by close, not even close. So DiNG on offense here, what they have to offer us is pretty much similar lineup. They used to play with 3 object 140s, if you remember,
Okay.
and 3 butchats. Now they have an STB and TVP. So they added that up a little clipper and 1 more hull downer for difference, I would say. But the playstyle should be very similar.
Okay, let's see if DiNG can squeeze this one out and... Oh, squeeze this, that's really bad. Appropriate term to use, sorry. Let's see if DiNG can actually win this match 5-2, or are Kazna going to bring it back to 3-4 and Prokhorovka?
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
Okay, so here we go on Prokhorovka. Kazna crew, can they defend? Can they hold on for another battle against DiNG and perhaps take it into a tiebreaker? Or are DiNG going to just see this one out, Mojo, and take away another victory?
Kazna is in stick-together team business here. Last time they played against Gohar, they did a silly split, leaving only 1 tank on A0 alone. It didn't go well. They got shot 1 by 1. Finally, some more cohesive play, and we'll have a huge fight.
This is going to be decided here and now as both teams just collide into each other on the east side of the map. This is going to be down to shot discipline. Shockish and Kuritz exchange shots. Yizne's getting focused now by DiNG as DiNG's trying to look for who they can get shots onto from Kazna. Kazna crew trying to line up the shots on DiNG. It looks like the first one to drop is Yizne, unfortunately. Veko's taking shots back and has been ammo-racked. Urofish is going down. He's just ammo-racked as well, and he has a broken tracks as Hyber's covering in for his teammates to take some shots. The shots coming back from Kazna are not very good as DiNG is able to retreat back over the railway lines here and use that as a bit of cover as everyone from Kazna is out in the open, which is not good.
No.
Urofish is about to be dropped. Hyber's about to be dropped. Oh, Kazna, come on, get some cover here right now.
DiNG is playing so smart, all those good positions. Also, once they were in reload, they were already crossing the rail and they were covered by their cooldown tanks like Object 140s, STBs, and so on. This is some late damage coming in from Ilian, but he's a single shooter and he will be highly pressed now. So only guys that stayed on the other side of the rail are now light tank Corits, and even Shockish and Positive ran away.
Breakneck and Shocky's pushing up here on Alien at the top of the map. If they can take him out and rotate over, that'll give them crossfire into the backlines of Kazna crew. Alien's able to hold him off there. He fires a single shot, but he's in the danger of getting flanked, as we can actually see. It looks like Shockish coming around the back of him. It's a great play from Shockish. Absolutely great play there, knowing that he can flank round. Hyde was then dropped into the middle. Oh, this is not going good for Kazna. Two of their tanks, which are always, I'm just going to say two of the tanks. Eurofish is now dropped as well. Veko's left, he's got a damaged ammo rack. Nexus has got a damaged flank. Stefan's now getting caught out by Positive. He's having to hide behind the building. DiNG have 6 guns still in the game right now. And this is all but done pretty much, Mojo, I'm afraid.
This is pretty much over. Veto even has a damaged ammo rack, so that's not gonna help to Kazna. That's why he's limping away so much. Nexus firing the last shot. I don't believe there will be a next one for him in this game. It was really good in a start for Kazna. Kazna gave their best there, but after that we could see they're not well prepared for all the maps, and DiNG was just overwhelming and secure. It's not enough to beat them on some maps. A lot of teams took 1 or 2 games from DiNG, but barely anyone. Just Gohard took 4 once, and that's anyone who came closest to them.
And with Vetso dropping there, that is 5-2 to DiNG.
Decisive victory even.
Decisive victory. It was fortunate in a way that both teams went to the same side. They were going to engage in the fight, but when the fight engaged, DiNG could come back over the railway lines to their advantage. They had a bit more extra cover with the way that that map terrain set up, but their focus fire into Kazna was just better than return fire from
Focus
Kazna
fire
at that time.
to Kazna and the specific position of tanks were much better, and that's planning, mate. That's how it goes. There is no fortune there. You are either aware of your positions and you know how to deal with them, or not. Kazna was a bit chaotic there. They didn't have a good communication with heavy tanks who were getting shot here and mediums here. Mediums didn't have all those good shots because DiNG was doing well